All right, guys, it's Brandon here, and we are on site today right here at the Oceans One Resort. Now, you're going to meet Nick and his wonderful wife, Destiny, in this video. Two people from Knoxville, Tennessee, who just grabbed me on the spur of the moment because they've been watching the YouTube channel just like you, and they wanted to say hi. Now, we're going to cover lots of things that you need to pay attention to, like the gross rental income on oceanfront condos, all of the operating expenses, and their profit or loss. We're also going to dive into the appreciation on these condos, how many of them, especially at Oceans One, have appreciated over $32,000 a year over the last 10 years. Yes, that's over $300,000 in appreciation. Now, we're going to explore the condos. We're going to take a look and do a walkthrough of the units. You're going to get to see inside of the condos, that beachfront balcony. We're going to talk about the attractions that are located near this property that make it so desirable for the 20 to 22 million tourists that visit our market each year. We're going to dive into Barefoot Landing and Broadway at the beach and the airport, how far away it is. You name it, it's going to be in this video. And it's super important that you watch it until the end so that your next investment or your first investment is not a flop. I do not want that for you. I don't want you to fall prey to the misconceptions that lots of first-time investors do. I've got to start small because it's less risk. It is not true, and I'm going to tell you why. There's all kinds of things that I hear all the time. The HOA fees are too high. I can't invest there. And it's not sound thinking. It's not logical thinking. It's fear that is guiding people in their investing, and no one ever went into business with fear and made any kind of money. So stay tuned through to the very end of this video. Watch all of it. If you've got questions, get in contact with me. I don't want to hold us up anymore. Let's get into the video now.
I believe you should invest in oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because you can enjoy and increase the passive income of your oceanfront condo through the 20 to 22 million tourists that visit the #2 vacation destination on the East Coast each year. Not only can you enjoy the equity paid for by visiting tourists, but you can also anticipate the over 100% appreciation experience at many of the oceanfront resorts in our market during the recent decade. I believe you should invest in oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because you can depreciate them, reducing your overall tax burden, keeping more money for you and your loved ones, and ensuring unnecessary taxes aren't paid.
Let's get in unit 1002 right here at the Oceans One Resort. Now, guys, as soon as we walk in, you'll notice some nice artwork. We have tile on the entry. Straight ahead, we've got our living room and other bedrooms. We do have a bedroom immediately to our right. Take a look at that. Flat screens, all modern, very well updated. Look at that. Closet here. Bum, 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 as you can see. Your own in-suite restroom with a vanity. That lighting, absolutely stunning. Tile in the wet areas. And of course, a tub shower combo. Now, you get to this juncture, we have another room over here to our left. And we've got the main area. We do have a closet here with a stackable washer and dryer unit. We're going to head this way though. Look at that restroom, absolutely stunning. Beautiful light fixtures, very, very beautiful. Look at that tub shower. Excuse me, that's not a tub. Nice step into shower. You do have access through that door to this bedroom, but I'm going to take you this way, guys. Double beds, as you can see. Closet in the corner. But it is altogether stunning. All right, now we're getting into the kitchen area. As you can see, refrigerator, stove, microwave, dishwasher, all stainless steel. Tile. There is a nice little eat-in table here. Dual sinks, as you can see, and a nice view straight ahead into the living room, as you can see here. Absolutely stunning. But before I take you in here, I'm going to take you right here to the master. Let's get in here. Look at that. Now, what's cool about this master is the balcony is truly private. Look at this. So there's a balcony for the living room and its own separate balcony for the master. On-site amenities there. There's your view. Sand and beach all in front of you. Now, of course, this master does have its own restroom, as you can see here. Nice custom cabinets. And of course, a nice garden tub with some jets. It's tiled. Absolutely stunning. The living room is absolutely beautiful. Look at it. Gorgeous. Now this is your own private balcony here. Again, you can see it's disconnected from the master, so you got some privacy there. Of course, here's our view of that coast. Come on, look at that pier. And there's our on-site amenities down below us. And that, guys, pretty much wraps it up for this beautiful 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom oceanfront condo right here at Oceans One.
In this video, I've shown you the resort, explained the property, and given you a walkthrough of the property. But next, I'll cover the accommodations and amenities offered by the resort and give you a walkthrough of the amenities so you can see why tourists choose oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Then I'll discuss on-site versus off-site management so that you learn how to maximize profitability on your unit and avoid the pitfalls other investors have made. Then I'll cover what your HOA fee pays for, how your resort's location creates a convenience for tourists that keeps them coming back for our attractions, restaurants, and local events, and also how your tourists can navigate the area. Next, I'll discuss how this resort has appreciated, average occupancy rates, and average gross rental income based on unit bedroom count for our market. And I'll share a really big secret I learned from a former client that was featured in Forbes magazine on how to increase your occupancy rates. After that, I'll discuss buying an oceanfront condo as a second home versus as an investment property, how a light cosmetic remodel can boost your occupancy rates and gross rental income, and I'll give you a quick market report on this resort so that you make savvy investment decisions. Finally, I'll break down your projected gross rental income and all your expenses for both a cash and financing purchase so that you understand how operating an oceanfront condo impacts you financially. Then finally, I'm going to give you my top resort picks based on which resorts have appreciated the most and have the best projected profitability.
All right, guys, we're on site today right here at the Oceans One Resort. I'm just going to take a quick walkthrough of the on-site amenities for you just to get a snapshot of some of the guest demand here at Oceans One. What I want you to see is, let me see just how many people are out here renting oceanfront condos. I mean, this place is full. Look at this. We're in April and there's tons of people, as you can see. Very cool, lazy river. Check that out, guys. And plenty of demand, if you can see right there on that beach. All those people there. Now, on-site versus off-site property management, hands down, if you were doing this as an investor to make money, you want to manage your own units. You want to self-manage. The on-site property management companies are going to drain between 20 and as much as 60% sometimes property management fees on your property. It's not worth it. You can manage this completely working a full-time job on your own, right from your phone. If you don't believe me, watch the investor interviews on the channel with Matt Freeze, Gosha Cook, and all the other investors. Rufia Nigro, who owns 27 oceanfront condos. Gosha Cook owns 15 oceanfront condos. Matt did own 11. Now I think he owns 9 oceanfront condos. The point is, these are full-time people. Gosha Cook manages 110 properties. Matt Freeze is a mortgage broker and runs his own firm. I mean, like, these guys work full-time jobs and manage all these oceanfront condos right from their phone. They leverage technology. It is not complicated. It is simple and easy. So self-managing is going to keep all that profit in your pocket, and it is going to be the way to go when it comes to oceanfront condos. You do not want to pass the property off to somebody else. You want to learn the business so that you can be better equipped as you start to build your portfolio and you understand the business. Once you've learned those ins and outs of it, then you can pass it off to somebody and you'll know if they're doing their job well. You'll know if you'll know what your unit can do, how much money you can make, how those guests are supposed to be treated. But if you don't have that understanding, then it's going to be, you're going to be pretty hands off. And if I had to guess between a CEO that was hands off versus a CEO that was hands on in managing their rental property investments, the guy who's hands on is going to treat that property like his own. He's going to own it. It's going to be his. He's going to learn everything he's got to learn to make sure he makes that property sing and those returns come in. And that's where you want to be. You don't want to be that hands-off guy. Hands down. I don't care where you are. If you're a professional, if you're a doctor, a dentist, a lawyer, an attorney, you can do it. You just got to have that focus and that resolve to learn the business and learn something new. You can totally do it. I see people do it all the time. So don't pass the property off to anybody else. Manage the property yourself if you really want to make the profits and build a nice real estate portfolio with oceanfront condos. Now let's talk about doing a cash out refi. For many, many investors, they are sitting on the money that they need to buy an oceanfront condo right in their primary residence. And that's where a cash out refi comes in. You're basically going to take the money out of your house and pay down on an oceanfront condo and you're going to use that money well. I had a sweet lady call me. She's like, oh, well, we got $300,000 sitting in our house. Well, and it's not making you any money. When you could have that money going to work for you in a solid oceanfront condo investment, making you between $20,000, $30,000, maybe even $45,000 a year in annual profits, not to mention over $30,000 worth of appreciation, just based on the historicals of what some of our larger oceanfront condos have done, the 3 and the 4 bedrooms. I pulled numbers on one, I think it was right here at Oceans One, $32,000 a year it made in appreciation. That's not counting the annual profits or the tax write-offs. So you got money sitting in your house, you can take it out, you can very easily pay down on a property here, have plenty of cash or reserves, working capital to manage that investment well, and use your money to make money. That's what the bank is doing. Why aren't you doing it? Give me a call. It's 843-360-1737 if you want to learn more about cash out refis. Now, 401ks. I'm helping a gentleman right now who had a bunch of money sitting in his 401k. He's doing a loan against his 401k and he's purchasing an oceanfront condo. Many people want to purchase using their 401k nice hard assets that their family can come and benefit from. You guys can come and use it. Your money is going to work for you, making money anyways. It's a smart move and a win-win all day long. If you're interested in talking to an investor broker that understands using a 401k to make an oceanfront condo purchase, then please give me a call. It's 843-360-1737. Don't let your money sit there and not get you the returns that you could be making just by having it invested right here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I get calls and emails every day from investors just like you looking to make their move into the Myrtle Beach market. They want to invest in short-term vacation rental properties. They want to invest in oceanfront condos. They want to know where the best deals are in our market. Well, guys, you're talking to the right person. 843-360-1737. I'm going to help you put your hands on the best deals in our market. If you're a first-time investor or a seasoned investor, if you're 1 year, 6 months, 3 years out, I don't care where you are in the investing process, pick up the phone, give me a call, send me an email, shoot me a text message, and let one of the many stories on our channel be one of your stories.
I believe you should invest in oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because this is the fastest growing area out of the 150 most populated areas in the entire United States for the last 3 years in a row, according to U.S. News and World Report. This helps to insulate our market from many of the ups and downs that the rest of our nation's real estate market experiences. This can help you have a more stable rental property. I believe you should invest in oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because they have a tremendous upside when compared to money market accounts and the stock market, due to the appreciation they earn and the potential of higher annual yields through their gross rental income when compared to these other investments. Money market accounts and the stock market don't have the upside of added appreciation. I believe you should invest in oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, because while our prices have risen and have held their value, we're also much cheaper than other places like Florida. Where else can you go and find an oceanfront condo for as little as $100,000? If you're getting into the real estate game or expanding your current portfolio, the bang for your buck is sitting right on the Myrtle Beach, South Carolina oceanfront. Now stay tuned, because coming up in the rest of the video, I'll cover what your HOA fee pays for, how your resort's location creates a convenience for tourists that keeps them coming back for our attractions, restaurants, and local events, and also how your tourists can navigate the area. Next, I'll discuss how this resort has appreciated, average occupancy rates, and average gross rental income based on unit bedroom count for our market. And I'll share a really big secret I learned from a former client that was featured in Forbes magazine on how to increase your occupancy rates. After that, I'll discuss buying an oceanfront condo as a second home versus as an investment property, how a light cosmetic remodel can boost your occupancy rates and gross rental income, and I'll give you a quick market report on this resort so that you make savvy investment decisions. Finally, I'll break down your projected gross rental income and all your expenses for both a cash and financing purchase, so that you understand how operating an oceanfront condo impacts you financially. Then finally, I'm going to give you my top resort picks based on which resorts have appreciated the most and have the best projected profitability.
So what does your HOA fee include, guys? It does include your electric and common, your water and sewer, trash pickup, elevator service, pool service, landscape lawn, insurance, manager, rec facilities, legal and accounting, primary antenna, cable TV, common maintenance and repair, electric in the unit, internet access, and pest control. All right, so let's talk through how far attractions are from this excellent location right here at Oceans One. Now, Broadway at the Beach is only 9 minutes away. Broadway at the Beach, guys, is a 350-acre tourist attraction, a must-see in our market. From fireworks shows to restaurants to boat rides on the water to the Wonderworks Upside Down House. The kids love all the activities in there. I mean, there is something for everybody to do out there. Dave and Buster's, Wahlburgers. There's nightclubs out there if you want nightlife. You name it, it is at Broadway at the Beach. Don't miss those great fireworks shows. Now, the Boardwalk and Promenade is only 2 minutes away. Market Common, another phenomenal attraction in our market. It is a city within a city. If you're looking for upscale shopping and boutique stores, then you found the right place. Now, Market Common is going to have lots of those little boutique stores, Pottery Barn, White House Black Market, all the places my wife likes to shop. You're going to have tons of restaurants and eating out there. Trevania, an excellent Italian restaurant. You got a great sushi place out there called Co Sushi. There's several other great restaurants. It's literally a city within a city. All that little shopping, everything that you need right there at your fingertips is just walking distance away. Now, Barefoot Landing, it's a little bit of a drive, 26 minutes away. Guys, you don't want to miss Barefoot Landing. There is something for every person to do. The Crooked Hammock is a phenomenal restaurant out that way. They have all kinds of games right outdoors for you and your family to do fun activities. There are shops. There's a marina on the water where you just drive your boat up, get out, and eat at that restaurant right there on the water. I mean, there is something for everyone. Cafes, shops, stores, plenty to walk and see and do. You don't want to miss it. Now, Medieval Times, 13 minutes away. Pirate's Voyage, another phenomenal attraction in our market. Guys, they're doing flips. It's a dinner show. They're doing flips. They're jumping in the water. They've got pirate teams competing. They're fighting. The food is excellent. They're serving you food. My kids loved it. I'm fairly confident your kids will as well. It's a great tourist attraction. You don't want to miss it. There's so much going on there. It's just a lot of fun. Now, Tanger Outlets, 15 minutes away. Myrtle Beach International Airport, 11 minutes away. And for all you golf enthusiasts, you don't want to miss it. Myrtlewood Golf Club, 16 minutes away. Dunes Golf and Beach Club, 20 minutes away. World Tour Golf Links, guys. World Tour Golf Links. Dunes Golf and Beach Club. World Tour Golf Links is going to have courses from it's going to have holes from some of the best courses around the world. Definitely don't want to miss that. Dunes Golf and Beach Club is perhaps one of the nicest, most luxurious places in our market. You do not want to miss it. You definitely want to get out there. Beautiful green, absolutely stunning. It's beachfront. It's gorgeous. You don't want to miss it. Now, Top Golf, 9 minutes up the road. Can't beat that. 9 minutes. I mean, if you want a good time and you're a group of, you have a group, small group, large group, it's the place to go. They got restaurants on site. You can order your food. You can get your drinks. And it's a driving range, and it's phenomenal. It's only 9 minutes up the road. So World Tour Golf Links, 15 minutes. Dunes Golf and Beach, 20 minutes. Myrtlewood Golf Course, 16 minutes. Can't beat it, guys. This place is close to tons of attractions that your guests are going to want to rent this resort for because of the convenience of being less than 30 minutes away from every place that they're going to want to go.
Now stay tuned, because coming up in the rest of the video,
I'll discuss how this resort has appreciated, average occupancy rates, and average gross rental income based on unit bedroom count for our market. And I'll share a really big secret I learned from a former client that was featured in Forbes magazine on how to increase your occupancy rates. After that, I'll discuss buying an oceanfront condo as a second home versus as an investment property, how a light cosmetic remodel can boost your occupancy rates and gross rental income, and I'll give you a quick market report on this resort so that you make savvy investment decisions. Finally, I'll break down your projected gross rental income and all your expenses for both a cash and financing purchase so that you understand how operating an oceanfront condo impacts you financially. Then finally, I'm going to give you my top resort picks based on which resorts have appreciated the most and have the best projected profitability. All right, guys, so let's work through your appreciation right here for your average 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom condo at the Oceans One Resort. Now, back in 2015, if you'd have purchased a condo, it was $252,900. Fast forward to 2023, our last sale on record, that average price at $510,000. Guys, we're talking $257,100. That's a lot of appreciation. We're talking $32,138 per year. So put this into perspective. Not only are you making $29,000 a year in annual profits, the property's also appreciating to the tune of $32,000. Where can you go and make $50,000 a year for a $500,000 investment? Come on. Now, not to mention your tax write-offs. We'll get into that in just a minute. All that said, guys, oceanfront condos are that sweet spot in the market that give you some of the upside of the stock market without all of the risk. They're better than long-term rentals. They make more money, have more upside. They're better than short-term rentals. Short-term rentals, you can buy a short-term rental a block off the beach and you can't rent it 12 months out of the year. But an oceanfront condo at the right resort can rent 12 months out of the year. So they're in a league of their own. They give you some of the reward, that upside of the stock market without all that risk. Get in contact with me so that I can help you make a savvy investment decision It's 843-360-1737. All right, so let's work through some of your AirDNA occupancy numbers. Now, it's got you listed at 63% occupancy with $83,800 in gross rental income. Now, yes, several units out here are bringing in that $85,000 for the 3-bedroom, 3 bathrooms. I did find a unit here that brought in $109,000. Can you make more? Absolutely. Can you increase the occupancy? Absolutely. AirDNA's estimate is not too far off. They've got you at operating expenses at $28,500 and then net operating income at $55,300 with that 63% occupancy rate. Now the goal here, guys, is to build a year-over-year book of business to the point where your occupancy hits 85%, at which time you can increase the amount that you charge for your average daily rental rate. Because you've got that steady book of business driving up that occupancy, you can charge a premium for your unit. Now, of course, you're going to have a unit that's updated with with great upgrades, great painting, contrasting colors, all the accent walls, fireplaces, LVP flooring, all that cool stuff. But you can quickly see that if you do do a phenomenal remodel and have an excellent year-over-year book of business built up, that you can charge more for that average daily night rate. It's that simple and that easy. Now, people are often concerned about having an HOA. Guys, an HOA protects your property's values. It is that simple and that easy. They are holding everybody at the resort accountable. They are owners that own at that particular resort, and they're going to make value-added decisions that improve the value of the property over time so that your investment improves, the value of your property improves, and that guests and tourists continue to return to that to that resort because of the decisions that HOA has made. So HOAs make value-added decisions, they protect the property's value, and you will be very, very thankful that you have an HOA holding everybody accountable when it comes time to sell that property and it's appreciated $200,000 or $300,000. Trust me, that little bit of accountability is going to go a long way. Now, some investors will, get very concerned about the HOA fees, and they will allow how much an HOA fee is to drive whether or not they invest at a particular resort. That is a foolish way to invest. We invest in an investment because of the upside that it can give us. We do not invest based on fear and being concerned that we won't be able to cover the HOA fees. Generally, the more successful resorts have larger HOA fees, but they also have a nice brand name established that can help carry you when you're getting started in this business. A lot of that work is already done for you by the brand of that particular resort. Now, obviously, HOA fees that are cheaper, most of the time, those places aren't as well ran. They don't have a strong brand name. They don't have a strong presence. That's the things that you want when you're a first-time investor doing this. So don't be afraid of the HOA fee. If you're doing this correctly, and watch the interview with Matt Freeze. If you're doing this correctly, guys, essentially you should make enough money on your oceanfront condo June, July, and August to cover all of your operating expenses. So who cares what the HOA fee is? If you're doing this well, you are generating a profit. Matt Freeze says he makes enough money on his oceanfront condos to pay all of the operating expenses for the year, June, July, and August. So the HOA fee is there. It's just a cost. It should not be determining where you invest. The upside potential and the top performing units at that resort give you an idea of what you can do in the business and how much money you can make. They reveal in part at least your upside, which should be what you're maintaining and fighting. That's what you're fighting for. You're aiming at bringing in that top gross rental income on that property. That's why you're investing in an oceanfront condo and not a long-term rental or even a short-term rental a block off the beach. They just don't have the upside. When there's a great year in short-term rentals, you can make a considerable upside, a lot of money. You can't do that with long-term rentals. Additionally, oceanfront condos, you can rent them out 12 months out of the year. You can't necessarily do that with other short-term vacation rental properties, even a block off the beach. So The whole point of investing in oceanfront condos is the upside. It gives you some of the upside of the stock market without all of that risk. Oceanfront condos are definitely in a league of their own. I get calls and emails every day from investors just like you looking to make their move into the Myrtle Beach market. They want to invest in short-term vacation rental properties. They want to invest in oceanfront condos. They want to know where the best deals are in our market. Well, guys, you're talking to the right person. 843-360-1737. I'm going to help you put your hands on the best deals in our market. If you're a first-time investor or a seasoned investor, if you're 1 year, 6 months, 3 years out, I don't care where you are in the investing process, pick up the phone, give me a call, send me an email, shoot me a text message, and let one of the many stories on our channel be one of your stories. Now, here's the secret that you want to know about concierge services when it comes to oceanfront condo short-term vacation rental properties. I once had a client who had a property over at the Sea Mist. She made $33,000 in gross rental income on an ocean view unit. Now, guys, if you've ever seen the Sea Mist, you know it is not the nicest oceanfront condo resort in our market. In fact, it is the cheapest, one of the cheapest oceanfront condo resorts you can find. It is ran down. It's probably one of the cheapest in the entire U.S., if I'm honest with you. You can pick up an oceanfront condo for anywhere between $80,000 to $96,000. Now, anyways, the point is that it's not the best place ever, and sure enough, she still made $33,000 in gross rental income from an ocean view, not even an oceanfront unit. Now, it was a little bit nicer of a unit. It was a larger unit. Had a nice jacuzzi jet tub in it. Anyways, the point is this. She offered vacation packages. $500 package, $1,000 package, $1,500 package. I'm not saying that those are her exact numbers. The point is for the idea, the concept. So she had a smaller, a medium, and a large size package. She offered bathrobes for him and her, rose petals on the bed, towel folded swans, a gift for him, a gift for her. I mean, there's all kinds of directions that you can go in with this, you know. I had the idea, you know, of course, gift cards for two to certain restaurants, Myrtle Beach Country Music Festival tickets, different festivals and things that are taking place here. You can definitely buy those tickets and include them. You simply coordinate with your cleaning lady, have her pick up the stuff, pay her an extra fee, and for the convenience, the vacationers will pay it. They don't have to do anything. Their vacation's pretty much planned. They got all kinds of restaurants and places to go to, events to check out and see. Everything's taken care of. A nice little envelope right there on the nightstand for them that the cleaning ladies left. They've paid a fee on your direct booking website for the package, and it's done. Voila. And I'm telling you, it drives up your gross rental income. And guys, people spend money on vacations. This is all about disposable income. The more disposable income people have, the more they vacation, the more they spend. So the point is that when they're on vacation, they tend to let loose and they'll spend a little bit liberally. And if you'll help make that property, if you'll help make that experience at your property convenient, then sure enough, they'll pay you a nice fee for that. Concierge services, give it a shot.
Now stay tuned, because coming up in the rest of the video,
I'll discuss buying an oceanfront condo as a second home versus as an investment property, how a light cosmetic remodel can boost your occupancy rates and gross rental income, and I'll give you a quick market report on this resort so that you make savvy investment decisions. Finally, I'll break down your projected gross rental income and all your expenses for both a cash and financing purchase so that you understand how operating an oceanfront condo impacts you financially. Then finally, I'm going to give you my top resort picks based on which resorts have appreciated the most and have the best projected profitability. Should I buy my oceanfront condo as a second home or an investment property? Well, guys, if you buy it as a second home, you are going to have a lower interest rate and a cheaper down payment for sure. You know, that's definitely a win, but you can only rent it out 6 months out of the year, 180 days, and you have to occupy it at least 21 days out of the year. Plus your primary residence has to be more than 75 miles away. Now, if you purchase it as an investment property, you can rent it out 365 days a year. You are going to have a higher down payment and a higher interest rate. Keep in mind, the bank is your partner on the deal. They know that you're buying this property to make money. They're going to want to get a cut of that money, so they're going to charge you a little bit higher interest. That's how it works, guys. That's the name of the game. But who cares? They're putting up 75% of the cash. Your down payment typically on an oceanfront condo investment is 25%. There are 20% and 15% down programs, but you do have to qualify for them. Get in contact with me if you want a solid and professional lender that I've worked with for the last 4 years that is phenomenal at closing oceanfront condos. It's 843-360-1737. Now, should you remodel your oceanfront condo? Absolutely. The top-notch oceanfront condos pull in the highest gross rental incomes. There's no way around it. The money that you invest in that condo initially is going to more than pay for it. If you put in $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 into that condo, and you're bringing in an extra $40,000 in a year, which is totally doable. Yvonne, she purchased an oceanfront condo with me last year. It was a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom at the Ocean Reef. It was making $104,000 in gross rental income. She, of course, remodels that unit. Takes her 2 months to do it. She brought it from $104,000 to $140,000 in her first 12 months owning and operating a short-term vacation rental, Myrtle Beach oceanfront condo. So was it worth it to put that $50,000 into it? Absolutely. If she makes an extra $36,000 a year for the next 10 years, that's $360,000. Guys, is that $50,000 investment worth it? All day long. If she owns it for 5 to 7 years, which is what we typically see investors do, they ride that wave of appreciation up, then they'll dump that property 5 to 7 years in and buy a few more once they've made all that money. Absolutely, the remodel was still well worth it. It's just a smart move. There's no way around it.
And now, it is the moment you have been waiting for and one of the most exciting parts of the video. Let's break down your projected gross rental income and all your expenses for both a cash and financing purchase so that you understand how operating an oceanfront condo impacts you financially. And then I'll give you my top resort picks based on which resorts have appreciated the most and have the best projected profitability.
All right, guys, so let's go through some of those numbers right here for a 3-bedroom, 3-bathroom at the Oceans One Resort. Now, I've got your purchase price at $505,000. I've got your down payment at 25%, which is $126,250. I've got, now, just real quick, we do have 15% down programs, 20% down programs, and 25% down programs, depending upon how you qualify. So get in contact with me if you want to get a hold of my lender, 843-360-1737. Now, your Airbnb platform fee is $3,277.44. That is 3% of that gross rental income number, that $109,248. If you take that $3,277.44 from the $109,248, guys, we have a subtotal of $105,970.62. All that being said, your principal and interest is $34,140. That is assuming an 8.25% interest rate at 30 years fixed rate mortgage. Your taxes on this property, $4,740.77. Your cleaning services, $6,000. That's 30 cleanings at $200 per cleaning. It could be less, it could be more. Your first 2 years, it's most likely going to be more because you're going to allow for shorter stays so that you can get many online reviews. After that first 2 years, yes, you're probably going to make that 1 week minimum stay like many people do in our market, which is going to lower your cleaning cost. Now, your excise tax was $787. That is a $145 base fee for your first $2,000 you make in gross rental income, followed by $6 per $1,000 you make in gross rental income after that. Now, all that being said, guys, that's for your Myrtle Beach, that's your City of Myrtle Beach business license to own and operate a short-term vacation rental business in our market. Now, local hospitality and accommodations tax, that's a 3% of the gross rental income figure. 1.5% goes to Horry County, 1.5% to the City of Myrtle Beach. That's for a total of $3,277.44. Your annualized HOA dues, your HOA fees are higher here. I love it. All you first-time investors just cringe when I say $27,336. Yes, they cringe. But those same HOA dues are why guests are spending $109,000 to stay at that unit. In my opinion, that unit can make $140,000. I watched Yvonne, a client of mine, pick up a unit that was a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom. It made $104,000 before she got a hold of it. She remodeled it, and she cleared she brought in $140,000 in 12 months. The point is that those HOA dues are what keep the property values high, which you'll see in just a moment once we cover your appreciation. But they keep the property values up, keep the property values high. They protect you. They hold the people there accountable. They keep the maintenance up on the property. The HOA is a good thing. It is protecting your investment. First-time investors cringe at the HOA dues. I always say to them, who cares about the HOA dues? If you've got a unit making $109,000 and you're clearing after all that bottom subtotal, $76,281.21, if you take that $76,000 from the $105,970 up top, guys, you're left with $29,689.41 in profit. That's just annual profits. That doesn't even count the appreciation on the deal. So who cares how much the HOA fee is? On to depreciating this unit. Now, at a 505 purchase price over 27.5 years, your taxable income deduction is $18,363.64. Now, basically, guys, in so many words, you're making $29,000 in profit, but you're getting an income deduction of $18,000. So you're not having to pay taxes on all of that increase, on all of that money. Now, all that said, for all of you high income earners, you need to look into what's called a cost segregation study where you accelerate depreciation. Basically, some of you high income earners could be writing off as much as $40,000 in a given year on an oceanfront condo. Doctors, lawyers, dentists, executives, if you're a high income earner, you need to be doing cost segregation studies and getting the taxable income deductions in keeping with your CPA's advanced tax strategies. If you need to get a hold of a CPA that specializes in a cost segregation study, give me a call. It's 843-360-1737. Now, the top oceanfront condos in our market, hands down, Dunes Village Resort, Oceans 1, Ocean Reef, 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom there, made $140,000. Come on. Caribbean is another great one. Excellent value there. Let's see. And then number 5, I would say Bayview. Hands down, Bayview. Bayview's got these excellent lockout units that they'll tend to bring in $100,000 a year in gross rental income. And that's not even fixed up ones. I mean, I can only imagine if you remodeled it. So absolutely top 5, hands down, Dunes Village, Ocean Reef, Caribbean, Bayview. I would say Sand Dunes is up there as well. Sand Dunes Resort, Matt Freeze owns several oceanfront condos over there, and he makes really great money. They're Ocean View condos, and he makes great money out there. There's great on-site amenities. You want to have those great on-site amenities. Now, in my opinion, Dunes Village is the best because it has a water park on-site. You can rent that unit out 12 months out of the year. That is a massive draw. Those units are, constantly bringing in $75,000, $85,000 easy. I found a unit out there, brought in $103,000. You definitely want to stay in the 3 and the 4-bedroom units in that side of the market. It's a less risk, much more upside. It's a better use of leverage. It's the smarter move and a smarter play, hands down. I could put you at a low-tier resort, with a cheaper oceanfront condo, but it doesn't have any brand to really carry you. It doesn't have a strong reputation. And in your first few years running, owning, and operating an oceanfront condo, you really need the resort's brand to help carry you through those first few years of you learning the business. So, in my opinion, it's a lot less risk to go with a 3 or 4 bedroom for a lot of reasons. Another great one is there's more supply of the smaller condos than the larger condos. There's a lot less 3 and 4 and 5 bedrooms on the market as compared to efficiencies 1s and 2 bedrooms. So it's just a lot less competition for you to compete against on Airbnb and VRBO. Now, guys, get in contact with me. I get calls, emails, and text messages all the time from investors just like you. I'm excited. I got another investor coming in Monday. I can't wait to work with him. Called me. He texted me right off of YouTube. It's always fun getting your text messages. I enjoy it. I like working with you guys. It's a lot of fun. 843-360-1737. I don't care where you are in the buying process, 1 month, 6 months, 2 years, whatever. Let's have a conversation. Let's get some of your hurdles crossed so that you can become an oceanfront condo investor right here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. All right, guys, so we're on site today right here at the Oceans One Resort, and I happened to run into two excellent people that watched me on YouTube, which was super cool and very, very exciting. Now, they're considering, Nick and his wife, Destiny, they're considering, an oceanfront condo, a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, right here at the Oceans One. So, Nick, tell me, what is your research process for an oceanfront condo? How did you arrive at that one?
Well, so my wife and I, we kept coming here for vacation year after year. I mean, especially whenever we were kids. And, whenever we started having kids together, we kept coming here and just decided, you know what, why not move here one day? And as we started looking into it, we thought, you know what, this would be a great second flow of income. Started doing our research and started liking what what we saw.
Absolutely.
So
especially thanks to your videos.
Yeah. We came across your content
Yeah.
Several times, and next thing you know, we subscribed, and everything started clicking and making sense. So here we are, about 3 years into it, considering buying oceanfront properties.
Absolutely. Now, you mentioned a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom oceanfront condo. It was an in-unit right here at the Oceans One. Now, what drew you to that condo?
Well, we stayed there last year, and it was beautiful. And we thought to ourselves, man, if there was nothing compares to that unit. And we thought to ourselves, if we were going to own an oceanfront condo, it would be that one.
Absolutely. Now, guys, I just want to point out to you that an in-unit is in short supply in our market. In-unit penthouse. That's the highest floor at that building. There's only 2 of those in-units per oceanfront condo resort in our market, and there's only 55 oceanfront condo resorts in Myrtle Beach. So essentially there's only 110 of those units. All that being said, there's a lot less of them, which gives what's called a competitive advantage when you're competing against all of the other rental properties on the market. So I think it's a brilliant move. And Nick happened to mention that it does have those floor to ceiling windows, which is another unique feature that looks really, really great in the Airbnb and VRBO listing photos. So for all of you viewers, if you're looking to find the most competitive strategic advantage for your property, you're going to want to find a penthouse in unit with those floor to ceiling windows. Of course, it has to be updated, it has to be remodeled, it has to have the top notch, colors, contrasting design. And if you can get those extra components, and you're going to have a notch up against all the competition. So we were talking about cash out refis. This is a popular topic lately. I've had other investors recently call me and do it. Now, would you consider doing a cash out refi on an oceanfront condo?
Oh, 100% I would. I mean, look, the way that I've viewed it and the way that I've crunched my own math, it's going to pay for itself. It's going to pay for itself. The money that you're borrowing against your house, with the profits that you're going to make in gross rental, if you can afford it, but in gross rental income, it's going to pay for itself. Now, you have those fees that you always talk about in your videos, the maintenance fees, the VRBO fees, if you're doing the hotel cleaning services fees. Either way you cut it, you're still going to be profitable from my math.
Yep.
And you're also going to own your own slice of paradise.
Yeah. Now, and Nick asked me a great question. He said, is it smart to do a cash out refi against my primary and buy an oceanfront condo? And the answer to that question, it's very, very simple and very, very straightforward. You don't ever want to hawk your house against a lucky chance. So
right.
What that means is, if your standard employment can afford to cover all of the expenses for your mortgage, for that cash out refi, and cover everything and doesn't put your house in jeopardy, then it's a smart move.
100%.
It's a smart move all day long. But if your standard employment cannot afford to cover all of that cash out refi, all of your normal monthly expenses, it's not going to be a smart move for you. You don't want to risk your primary residence for an oceanfront condo. But if you do the math, I mean, I just helped a couple do a cash out refi. Their mortgage payment went up $1,100 a month, and it enabled them to pull out $168,000 out of their house, and they paid down on a $600,000 oceanfront condo.
Yeah.
And they're excited about it. They're supposed to clear $18,000 a year profit, and it's a better use of the money than it just sitting in their house and the bank using it to make money.
Right. Absolutely.
It's just a smart move. So, yes, in their instance, it made sense. Their employment could cover that extra $1,100 a month. That's great. Not an issue, not a problem. So they really weren't hawking their house against a lucky chance. So if you're considering doing a cash out refi, you have a lot of equity in your home, absolutely get in contact with me. It's 843-360-1737. So I was just chatting with Nick and Destiny, and we were talking about how first-time investors are basically, they're normal, everyday people.
Yes.
You don't have to be a millionaire to buy oceanfront condo properties.
Mm-mm.
You know, and yes, you can do very, very smart moves like a cash out refi. Nick was saying something like you were torn on, do I do this? You know, like I'm the only provider for my family.
Mm-hmm.
Is this a smart move? I don't want to jeopardize what I've got at home.
Right.
Of course not.
Right.
So,
right.
kind of help people work through that.
So, I mean, just to go into our finances, our house, we owe about $230 on it. And in Knoxville, Tennessee, it's worth about probably $550, $580. So there's been a lot of coffee dates that my wife and I have had at night where we're sitting there talking, do we pull out the money in our second mortgage to buy an oceanfront condo?
Because we don't do IRAs. And
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
We want to invest in real estate. That's what we've always talked about.
Yeah.
Right.
Because you can always
Yeah.
cash flow it very quickly.
And it's a hard asset that you actually own.
You're right.
It's not something it's not in the
Waiting.
stock market. It's not going up and down. And,
Right.
and guys, that's a very valid point. Essentially, the stock market has a ton of risk in it.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't really have that kind of risk with an oceanfront condo.
Right. And that's what I thought. I was like, the mortgage is going to pay itself, especially in the in season.
Yep.
The off season might be a little different, but that's what the in season is for you to make that money and then
We'll stay in
invest
it on the off season.
Yeah, and to be honest with you, if you watch the interviews with Matt Freeze, he plainly says that June, July, and August, he makes enough money on his oceanfront condos to cover all of their operating expenses. So if you're doing this well, you shouldn't be coming out of pocket. That's the whole point of watching my channel.
Yeah, that's what we did.
You shouldn't
That's
be,
what we did.
I'm literally going to put your hands on the very best deals. I've done all the research for you. I've made it simple and easy for you. You just got to pick up the phone and call me.
Yeah.
Now, talk to me a little bit more about the whole risk part of it, because I know a lot of people will probably, they're on the channel just like you and your wife, and they are, they're spending 2 years thinking about it.
Yeah.
What are some of the things that you had to work through to get to the point where you're like, you know what, this is a smart move?
Well, I mean, literally just
Well, we stay here.
yeah. Well,
Number one,
we
we stay here. And
We
like
live in
it.
the dream.
Yeah.
A lot of influencers we watch, they say touch a dream. Ed Milet says touch a dream. And so we come here just so we can touch our dream.
Yep.
And what's so crazy is a lot of times people think that their dreams are this far away.
Yeah.
When in reality, you're really just a decision away from making your dream become a reality.
That's right.
And it's crazy to think that we can literally make this dream become a reality.
Like right now.
Like right now.
Like literally,
Yeah,
literally, you can say, Brandon, let's put an offer on that place. I will have my lender, Richard Trozo, send a pre-approval to us in the next 24 hours.
Yep.
You guys apply for a loan. I'll put the offer in, and it's done.
Yep. So that's something that
We'll be talking about here in a little bit.
yeah.
After this interview resumes, for sure.
Literally,
Yeah.
it's that real. And I try to get people to get that. Like, I always want people to go, there's generally one or two hurdles that your average investor has in their mind. Oh, the HOA fee is so high, or the this, or the that. And if they'll just pick up the phone and call me, I will explain to them how it works, make it simple and clear. I'm not going to pressure you. That's not my style.
Just education.
I'm just going to teach you what the deal is so that you can make an informed decision on your own. And if you can just get past that one or two hurdles, you could open a whole new chapter for your life.
Right.
Like your first condo is probably going to lead to your second condo.
Right.
And your second condo is probably going to lead to 2 more condos.
Right.
And before you know it, Rufy and Igro, 17 years, I interviewed her. 17 years, she owns 27 oceanfront condos in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Wow. Well, hopefully that will be what you do with us here in about 5 years.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So
Real estate portfolio.
yeah, exactly. You build that up, and especially if you haven't saved, if you don't have an IRA, you don't have a 401k, this is a very smart way to get a retirement egg built up for you It doesn't have to be some crazy. You don't have to be a genius that knows the stock market. You don't have to. You don't have to go hire a financial planner. If you do, that's great. Go. I'll work with them. It's awesome. But this is something that everyday regular people do all the time. I get calls, emails, and texts from people just like you guys that are looking to do this and make this move, and they didn't go and study finance.
Right.
It's just it's a simple hospitality business that can make you a lot of money.
Yeah, we're definitely just middle class people.
Yeah, middle class. Which, I mean, if you want to get technical, there's no
Lower.
such thing as middle class
Lower
anymore,
middle
right?
class. Yeah.
So, anyways, but I will say this: we enjoy your content, man.
Yeah, thank
like
you.
so much. I mean, for the past couple of years, been watching your videos, your channel, and you have helped us so much, especially in just getting us from start A to probably where we are right now, and probably the Y position.
Yep.
We're ready to almost pull that trigger.
Yep.
Your videos, your content has got us there. We appreciate it so much.
Thank
man.
Absolutely.
It was like seeing Michael Jordan watching you walk through the pool today.
I'll take it, man. I'll take
We
it.
ran over to you.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much. I get calls and emails every day from investors just like you looking to make their move into the Myrtle Beach market. They want to invest in short-term vacation rental properties. They want to invest in oceanfront condos. They want to know where the best deals are in our market. Well, guys, you're talking to the right person. 843-360-1737. I'm going to help you put your hands on the best deals in our market. If you're a first-time investor or a seasoned investor, if you're 1 year, 6 months, 3 years out, I don't care where you are in the investing process, pick up the phone, give me a call, send me an email, shoot me a text message, and let one of the many stories on our channel be one of your stories.